Our next guest stars in a new movie based on a very popular novel for young adults, and you know how they can be. It's called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It is in theaters now. Please say hello to Ezra Miller. It's good to have you here. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. I bet you get that sort of thing.
Did you go Urza or
I said
Israel?
Ezra by accident.
Ezra is a new one.
Yeah, that was a new one.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, but do you know other Ezras?
The scribe from the Bible.
Mm-hmm, that's about it, right?
And the poet who went insane and became anti-Semitic.
Ezra Pound?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Ezra Cornell.
I don't know.
Found Cornell University.
Oh, is that right?
But these are all people I don't know personally.
I never imagined I would play a game of Ezra trivia, and yet here we are. I heard this is your first time on a talk show.
It's true. I'm terrified right now.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You seem very comfortable.
That's reassuring.
Where are you from?
I'm from the factory filth and manicured lawns of New Jersey.
Is that right? What part of New Jersey are you from?
Bergen County. Yeah, what up? Jersey in the house, okay.
And do you come from a big family?
I come from a 5-person family. My mother, and then also my father. The classics.
Yeah,
those are most.
The standards.
And then I have 2 older sisters. So it was a female-dominated
How much older are they?
3 years and 8 years, I think.
Oh, so you really were under their power.
Yeah, no, completely.
Yeah, and so would they make you play house and dolls and all that stuff?
I was the doll.
Oh, you were the doll.
Yeah, that was the go-to. That's the standard game when it was time to play. I was sort of like an American Girl doll. And yeah, no,
Did they have special clothing for you and everything?
Oh yeah, no, we had entire wardrobes of women's clothing for Ezra.
Oh, is that right?
It was most of what we did.
Would they force you to put the clothes on?
Yeah, no, I would get full hairdos. I'd get makeup. I'd put on a dress. And then they'd take me out and they'd show me off. You know what I mean? Like we'd do a lemonade stand, me as a girl, and then the neighbor would come and be like, you know, I didn't know you had 3 daughters. Uh-huh. I was an attractive girl.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But is this why you grew the mutton chops? Just to make sure
I'm fighting it now.
No one confuses you now? Well, that's it. And did you sell a lot of lemonade as a result of the 3 girls?
Yeah, I don't quite recall. I think it was more about showcasing their younger brother's femininity than actually selling the citrus beverage.
Now, you had a very interesting childhood. I found out that you were an opera singer when you were how old?
Well, I got into opera when I was 6.
How does that happen?
So I went straight from, like, the Tonka truck to opera. It was, like, construction vehicles. I was obsessed. And then there was this music teacher named Lynn Behrman who came into my kindergarten class and was this incredibly friendly woman, and she tried to get the class into opera, and it failed on everybody except for me, and I became obsessed.
What was it about opera that got you excited?
I don't know. It was like a broad emotional expression. I don't know.
Wow, that's interesting. And then you went to study with whom?
Well, at first, it started out nice. I started with this woman, Lynn Behrman, who introduced me, and I went and I trained in her conservatory, you know, trained as an alto soprano.
Was she shocked? She's like, wow, we've never had anyone interested in opera before. You are our only student ever.
I think she valued me for that exact reason. But then I was determined to climb the ladder, even at a young age, and so I joined the Metropolitan Opera Children's Chorus.
Oh, they have a children's chorus.
Yeah, well, it's how they, you know, occasionally you need like a street urchin for the opera, or you need like the choir boys.
You were those?
I was those.
And do you sing in that way and very expressively?
Well, I had an alto soprano voice, so it was like once the balls started dropping,
you were out.
It was
like
over.
New Year's Eve, it was over for you.
And you know, the woman who for like 25 years commanded the Metropolitan Opera Children's Chorus, this woman named Elena Doria, was a fascist, for lack of a better term. She was like a fascistic tyrant.
Really? Over the little kids?
Yeah, she had to keep those little kids in shape and make sure our harmonies were on point. And she actually used to make us call her Judge Judy.
Why?
That was just like, that was her self-image of authority.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would you call her Judge Judy?
We would have to. It was a requirement.
Like Good Morning, Judge Judy?
More like in moments of distress. So it would be like, if we were singing, a lot of opera is all about like the way you make the phonetic sounds with your mouth. You have to speak all these different languages. And if we were doing something wrong, she'd single us out and she'd go, Ezra, go to the mirror, look at yourself, and look at everything you're doing wrong. And I'd be like, okay. Okay, who? Okay, Elena. Okay, who? Okay, Judge Judy. And that was when, that was what she was looking for.
A woman who watched a lot of daytime television, I guess. Now, this book is, I'm not familiar with the book, but were you familiar with the book that they made this movie out of?
Yeah, I was. I was friends with two older people when I first came into high school when I was 14 years old, and they pretty much stated that this book was required reading to be friends with them.
I see.
It was required friendship reading.
So you read it?
I read it, and yeah, it was very.
And then were you always hoping that they would make a movie out of it and you would be a part of it, or how did that work?
No, I think when you value a piece of art, because it was really helpful to me as a kid. It gave me like, it's like a blueprint or like a map for a young adolescent person. Mm-hmm. So I think when you have that sort of bond with a work of art, like when I first heard that they were making a film, I was like, no! Damn you, Hollywood! There's nothing sacred to you.
Oh, you didn't like that
no,
idea.
I had that reaction, but then, of course, I realized that it was. So I was like, who would do this? Who in their right mind would take Stephen Chbosky's perfect book and make it into a movie? And it's Steve Chbosky.
Oh, okay.
Guy who was.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. And then.
So the second I found that out, I was in.
Wow.
Did you? But then I had to audition.
Oh, then you had to audition.
Right. Yeah. In my mind, I was in. There's that unfortunate.
Well, that's kind of a cool thing. That's pretty rare. I mean, I always wanted to be Spider-Man as a kid, and it never really worked out for me. But I'm still keeping my fingers crossed.
You make that happen, man. When the third reboot comes around.
That's right.
I see it. Some glasses and right.
Middle-aged Spider-Man.
Ready.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. Congratulations. The movie is called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It is in theaters now. Ezra Miller.